While investigators have been diligently working to find answers, they've had to deal with thousands of tips generated by false information that in some cases has been intentionally spread across social media platforms. We know that this case has attracted the attention of individuals across the country who genuinely care about summer and want nothing more but to help us find answers. We appreciate those people. However, we are also aware that there are some people using this case for their own personal gain by spreading false information on social media posts as facts. Some go as far as to solicit donations. This has had a major impact on the investigation and not in a good way. Moving forward, we ask the public not to submit tips as a result of a video they viewed on YouTube or a theory they've seen posted on Facebook. Please help us and only call if you have direct, specific information about the disappearance of Summer. This investigation weighs heavily on us all, and I can promise you that no one wants answers more than we do.
TBI says they've received at least 1,500 tips. The problem is, TBI says that's pretty much all come from misinformation being spread online.
My day, I check tip line and voicemail when I first get here. I do phone calls and follow-ups on any credible leads I've got. I follow up on anything that I didn't get to a good conclusion the day before. Then I go into my normal caseload of any new cases I've got, follow-ups on them.
They've received nearly 2,000 tips.
Then I go into my normal caseload of any new cases I've got, follow-ups on them.
They've received nearly 2,000 tips.
I will follow up on everything I can to try to bring closure for this.
Self-proclaimed online investigators and social media sleuths have turned this case into a mess of ideas. And tips have come in from everywhere across the U.S. and even overseas. That help, Pruitt says, has led to little more than time wasted.
If these people want to help so much, we always accept applications to certified individuals.
We do want to caution there are some social media elements out there who purport to have information that is direct from the investigation. I just want to reiterate that that is not the case. Some of the information that is being provided on some of the social media channels is inaccurate, incomplete. We don't want this to damage the investigation, so we would just caution anyone who is following the case to just use some caution as to what you see and what you believe. It's caused a bit of a distraction because a lot of what has been out there in some of the social media channels has been rumors and speculations and theories, and some of that has been advanced and people have caught a hold of it as if it's what's really happening. That has resulted in us getting information that is either, like I said, distracting. It's taking away time and effort from what the agencies need to be doing as far as looking for Sebastian. We have had so far, as of this morning, 314 tips that have come in through the tip line. It's been mentioned, but I'll say it again. It's 1-800-TBI-FIND. We are also taking tips through email, which is tips to TBI, TBI, at tbi.tn.gov.
Not much. My bad. I was food shopping. I was just so taken back. I was like, what the fuck? The lady is mad.
I was like, what the fuck is this call? What in the hell is going on? I know she ain't got no fucking hotline. So how this lady get a hold of her? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no. So it was actually us, right? Because we thought that this tip line, Voices actually explained it good. Thank you, Voices. We thought this tip line was set up and Michaela was on the other end. So we were live talking about it and they were like, let's call the tip line. I'm like, should I? So nervous. I call. Well, the lady actually. Yes, and my only question was, I was just wondering if this is still an operating tip line. She says yes. And then it was just like this, Queen. Next thing you know, she's telling me that Seth Rogers is cleared. The Proudfoots are this. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And then she's like, I'm going to tell you something, but don't tell anybody.
Know this.
I know. And as soon as she told me, like, what I'm about to tell you, don't tell anybody, I muted it so nobody else could hear it. But of course, I kept the conversation going, and she told me so much, so much. So I handed it over to TBI and local LE because it was that on, like, if people are calling for tips not to receive insider information. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Well, I guess the police showed up. Yeah, because she called me, and I'm like, oh my God.
Is that the tip line Tony set up?
Yes.
So did
Okay,
you
sorry to
find out
interrupt.
who this person is and where she's located?
And it's funny, as she said, the cops showed up to her because I didn't even have her name to tell them who she was.
Okay, so you didn't find out who she was and where she's located?
She wanted to tell me.
So
But-
that's probably
But
Tony put this
suppose-
out a long time ago about this tip line, so they probably are already in the know about it. You know what I mean?
the potential that this person had something else going on in her real life, and it's an absolute. I mean, law enforcement showed up to her back door? Why wouldn't they go to the front door?
Oh, wait. No. What she had said, what you're talking about is when she said she notifies police of what they're doing through the back door. I don't know what that meant.
Oh.
She told me the police came to her door. Yeah. Nothing about a front or back. She just said, she called. I didn't answer it upstairs.
Back channels. So she's not getting it in official capacity. This is problematic.
Yeah. And that's what I said to her. Are you giving the information, the tips you receive, are you giving this over to the police? And she said they're notifying them through the back door. And I didn't even know what that meant.
Meaning they're back channeling it. Somebody knows somebody who works in law enforcement.
Well, nothing about that was legit. So it like, I'm sorry, random lady that I called to ask if this is a tip line, but you just put like the weight of all this shit on my shoulders. What was I supposed to do with it? But I do feel bad for her.
I don't. She's willingly being complicit in this. There's nothing that says.
I mean, what the hell? She told you a whole bunch of shit that she wasn't even supposed to open and be saying at all. Was there any proof that the cops were there at the door? Like, did she show any proof at all, or she just expected?
No, just a message.
Oh yeah. See. There's been too many people lying, too many people playing games, too many people fucking inserting themselves when they ain't got nothing to do with this case. You know what I'm saying? But they just inserted themselves too, and just for the hell of it.
Her story was weird, Queen. So she said when I asked her, like, if I may I have your name? She told me no. And I said, okay, I respect that. Keep your identity. She's like, well, social media and and I'm like, okay, I get it. But she also told me that she offered her services early on. Nobody paid her any attention. And then the mayor friend, this was said, the mayor friend asked her to get involved. So she did. And here she is. I was given permission on what isn't true and can be spoken on and what can't. Because some of it apparently was like legitimate insider information,
I wouldn't put any of it
which
out.
again isn't anything much.
I wouldn't put any of it out.
None of it out.
None of it.
If you put it out, then that makes you no different than Betty or anybody
Right.
else, because you're doing it for monetary gain. And if that's not what you're about, then I wouldn't put it out. And if you really care about this child and its appearance, you should not put that information out. It should be left off this platform, in my opinion. That's it. That's all.
Definitely.
There we go. This is all rumor. None of this is that's factual. Yes. So basically, tip line is a misinformation clearinghouse that Seth's team's pushing. That's how I feel.
You said this is all rumor, none of it's factual.
And I asked my mods and even chatters who wouldn't mind to repeatedly type that in chat to make it very crystal clear. I mean, anyone who doesn't like me is going to say this added to the drama and all that, and that's fine. I recognize that, but I couldn't have made myself any clearer.
All right, here we go.
Felt. It's exactly how I felt. Makes no sense. CPS investigated and Sebastian remained in the home. Right. To claim that, like, oh, Katie, like, willingly dropped him off knowingly for a week. I mean, come on. I didn't play it yet, Goody. Alright, so I'm gonna play it. This is how I knew that it was speculation and she's going off social media.
Well, yeah, that's why he was 7. But he's had some issues ever since. Also, I spoke to Sebastian's teacher.
But at the end of the day, I mean, that is harmful. I'm just a random person calling to say, hey, are you still accepting tips? And next thing you know, I end up with an hour worth of tips that they've received. Well, asking if anybody else wants to like try to hammer me for something. Can you give me a day? Like just one day? Can I have one day?
Happening that has resulted in us getting information that is either, you know, like I said, distracting. It's taking away time and effort from what the agencies need to be doing as far as looking for Sebastian.